my suntan oil that I like to use. You alright, Ma? You cozy dozy? Okay, lip balm. My hairbrush. I'm losing track of time because I wear my hair up. Because it's getting to be so much. Every time I cut it off, like, it goes through a growing spurt. And I just went through it's going through, I don't know. I don't know what is happening to me on this planet. It's crazy. Things are all wackadoo all over the world. Not here. They're chill here. Mom's comfortable. She was a little wound up, so I gave her a little piece of candy. You understand, this woman grew up in the 60s. She was in 68. She was 18. So, like, all the protesting, she was studying in a library someplace. She was an egghead. She was always very studious, and she's brilliant. The way she puts the things together in her mind, and then a man frickin' rearranged her mind. She's still brilliant, though. So she has a traumatic head injury. Everybody in my family has one, except for me. And I'm the Aries. Except, well, you know what I think my traumatic head injury is that they gave me MRIs. Those things, I never should have looked at inside of an MRI. I never in my life. They're gigantic magnets. Like, they put me, the last time I had one done, I've had several of them done, and nobody ever tells me the results of my MRI. How come that's a thing? I had a CT scan one time at the VA hospital in Omaha, and they're like, oh, you have to come back because your pituitary gland is highly enlarged. So basically, I got one part of my spiritual awakening documented by the government. I think that's hilarious. I guess that place has really gone downhill. Things are just going downhill. What's up? How you doing? I'm telling my mom a bedtime story. Mom just went to sleep and she's wound up. And so I thought it said, my voice is very soothing to her. It's calming to her. So, not the cat. Oh, I wonder if the raccoon's out. They have words. So Mom was wound up, and I was talking about how I gave her a little piece of candy because she had a traumatic head injury. It's not dementia and it's not Alzheimer's. It's different. The thing of it is like dementia and Alzheimer's, dementia is because your brain is a muscle and people stop using it. They just do the same day every day. It's like autopilot. And if you don't learn or practice learning, you lose your ability to learn new things. That's what I learned when I went to college. They said I was retarded in 1987. They said I was autistic. I thought they said artistic, and I just started drawing all the time. Always live in my own little world, so I share it here on the interwebs. Because I take care of I'm a stay-at-home daughter. I have been since 2016, so I hang out with my mom. It kind of feels like the basement. This isn't the basement. It's a casita. So, yeah, 1989, a dude slammed my mom's head in the car door of a 64 Chevy Biscayne. Real heavy door. I wasn't around to protect her. Usually I took care of the fellas that always caused her harm. Because she's such a small, tiny little woman that men just would be like, I'm gonna do whatever I want with her. And then I would be like, no, you're not. I've been fighting men off my mom since I was like a 5-year-old girl. I was 7 when I witnessed her knocked out and get kicked over. Knocked out, but kicked off a second-story porch. Just like, this woman deserves to be taken care of, you know? The picture of the lady on the thumbnail, that's my mother's mother. Uh, I just found that picture like 2 years ago. Give you a little backstory. My mom was adopted back in the 1950s, and records aren't real accurate back then. And they put her away in an Indian school down in El Paso, Texas. And I know it's a Tartaria building. And she used to talk about, because we'd see those lion statues, because they're part of the lore, you know, of the might is right, of the secrets, of all the nonsense of why America is collapsing right now, for the storylines that they've perpetuated. But see, because of social media, too many people are calling BS. Too many people are like, nah, that ain't true. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. Like, it's like people are waking up to the collective sum of all parts discernment. You know, because we see all the shows on TV, and it's really, it's becoming quite evident that Washington D.C. and Hollywood, they have the same writers, and they have the same budgets, and they both exist to get you to believe that you need to pay taxes and just, you know, fall in line and do everything that you're, you know, be a good little citizen and wave your flag on the 4th of July and go look for your little eggs on Easter. And whatever the holidays are that people do, because I haven't lived on the same planet as what this contrived reality. We moved around so much because I come from a family of Freemasons, and I didn't know they were Freemasons until 3 years ago when I got a picture of my grandfather's grave with the. And I'm like, oh, that's why my brother has all the advantages. That's why they all run the state systems. They're all in the state systems, and then they're all assholes. And then the wrong people end up getting put away because they're assholes. My brother is a total freaking trash heap. And I gave him the benefit of just loving him just because he was my brother and overlooking him slamming my head into. He has physically assaulted me when I was a 16-year-old girl. He just got back from basic training. He was a state wrestling champion. He lost his shit and he took it out on me. And I did nothing. And the last conversation we had before he said, I never want to speak to you again, because Mom called him. I said, it wasn't me. It was Mom calling you to wish you a happy birthday. But on the phone, he said, what have you ever really done for me, Margie, besides keeping my dog for a year when I was in Iraq? Making bank, hazardous duty, tax-free, sign-on bonus, in the Army Guard. Like, it's not even he's a JAG. He's an Army JAG. And it's like, hey, I read the same UCMJ you did, I'm pretty sure. And I think, like, throwing your fucking retarded, autistic, disabled veteran sister away leave her to take care of Mom, I'm pretty sure that, like, that goes against. And if I called your frickin' supervision and your command, and I explained to him, like, the guy makes, between he and his wife, working for the state, if you look, because California is a transparency state. So you can look at, any lawyer you could look up, California Bar 249276. You could look them up and you could look at their pay scale. Any state employee. Ever since COVID, they got more lax because all these people took a lot of pay went up through the roof because they didn't have overhead. So a lot of people started making way more money, and they're going to tell they're not going to take that pay back at the state level. State is just a cold oven by itself. State system, every state, California, Nebraska, you get in the state system, oh, you're connected for life, it's cush. It's like, it's the laziest freaking cesspool and nothing gets done nonsense. And he and his wife every 2 years, $1,000,000. Every 2 years, $1,000,000. Wouldn't that be nice if every American could get $2,000 a month just for living? Wouldn't that be dope? Wouldn't that be hella dope? If you just because you're happen to be incarnated on this crazy freaking alien ant farm, that you get $2,000 in your account. Think of all the systems that wouldn't have to exist. College wouldn't have to be a thing. You could just, because by the time you could take care of yourself, you have your own autonomous. How much would that be? I'm bad at this math stuff. Bad at numbering. Bad at figuring. So, what is it? What is it? It is. What's I gonna do? How much would that be? I think Mom went to sleep. You asleep now, Mom? Yep. Candy worked. She just got a little piece. I said, hey, Ma. I said, I made that candy myself. What do you think about it? She's like, oh, it is so good. And she's like, crunch, 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 crunch. I said, don't crunch it too much, Ma. I don't want you to break no teeth. She's 75. She still has all of her own teeth. That's because she was born here and not raised here. How crazy of a story is that? The little old lady with the craziest life and has a little daughter, me, and then out of desperation, pure desperation in 2020, moved to Flagstaff with a monster of a little tiny troll woman, carried a gun. Ugh, is a horrible person. I wonder if she's still alive. That her daughter, whatever, Aspen, gosh. Anyway, they invited us to come live with them, and it didn't work out. Then we ended up in Taos, New Mexico. And then after we moved to Taos, we found out my mom that was adopted, she knew she was adopted her whole life, was from Cuesta, like 22 miles north, and like met like relatives. And it's just better sometimes. Mom was as hard as her life was, like, I don't have to imagine what her life would have been if she would have been here. If she would have stayed here. You know, but the people that she was born to, she was born with 2 deformed feet. She had 2 club feet. And they weren't willing to do what it took to take care of her. So they put her in an orphanage, an Indian school. So that's like the dark side of society that everybody's becoming or waking up to now. Like that is nothing. That is like it's weird that more people are starting to see like the world that I grew up in, and just like how I don't know, trusting people. Like, I don't know. I've been kidnapped by my own family and like got all weirded, caught up with that whole family court thing. All these stories that people talk about. That was my life. We moved around so much, and then you just don't talk about stuff like that. Now I talk about it because I don't care. Like it's not. I don't believe in secrets. I have no secrets. And so I share accounts of my life and how they're in the court, and my world orbits other people. And my world is a lot bigger than the regular person because of places I've done, things I've done. I mean, we're watching the Iran thing, whatever that is, play out. I'm seeing that on TV. And when I think about 2003, I was on Crete. That's where the operation kicked off when we did Iraq. I was like sitting there in a truck, just watching the war, just watching the planes take off where the war happened. I gave a pilot of a B-1 pilot a ride to his plane, went up in the cockpit, and I stood there, and then later I realized, this guy was like killing people from this, and it was just like Star Wars, you know. The B1s are the ones that set off the car alarms. Like, I'm losing my hearing now, and I'm trying to prove it. I'm trying to deal with bureaucracy. I can't stand it. I can't stand having to prove. It's like, it sucks enough that I'm fucking losing my hearing, man. What, huh? But I don't have to listen to music to love music, because I can feel it. And to have to freaking fight, because agency is just welfare for the freaking employees. And more people are figuring that out, and it cracks me up. Like, you're never gonna get anything done, I'm doing my claim through the VA portal. I submitted it. Because I tried to do it through the VA in Taos here, the clinic. But they're just a bunch of freaking, they stonewall you. If you ever need a hug, come by and get a hug. I'm like, I don't need a hug. I need my fucking benefits. I don't need a hug. Before I could have used one. But no, I don't need a hug. And they want me to do pap smears and stuff like that. I said, no, I don't need to. Never really been active in that area, so I learned to channel my, what is that, sacral chakra energy into more productive things instead of, I don't know. I am so glad sometimes I censor myself here. Because oftentimes I don't. I'm trying to grow this part out, because my racing stripe got snipped. So the goal is, how flock of seagulls is that? Now I'm just screwing around. So one day it'll be long enough, and then I can get my whole racing stripe back. I got this white thing going on. Alright, I just wanted to hop on because Mom was kind of antsy in her pants, and so I was giving her a bedtime story, and I was just rambling on, and I thought I'd tell the story about how we ended up where Mom began, born and not raised. And I think it's a remarkable story, and I just think it's so weird that like real life stories are so much better than remakes. They keep doing these remakes of these terrible old, like Hellboy. Why are they doing that? Come on, man. Like, I just the money wasted on stuff that could be used for useful for. I just went down a little ant hole cavern about the number of misappropriation of funds that they put out here since I've lived here. And it's because this is what I do where I live. We were impoverished. We were poor. Mom was a single mom. She had me and my brother. She didn't have, then my brother resents her because he didn't have a nice, pretty, a cushy childhood, because it was made hard by my dad. It just is. It's just so. It's such a. I've been getting gains because I think about this stuff, and instead of getting angry about things, I do sets. I pick up my dumbbell and I do sets. I did 999, And it just occurred to me about 10 minutes ago that I said, why didn't I just do one more set and then do 1,000 that day? But that's not how I think. Oh my god, that is so funny. So, I'm excited about something. I got me some 3D night day goggles. Or not 3D. They're not 3D. They're, I misspoke. I misspoke. What are they? Alright. Okay, they are night vision goggles. 80 time total magnification. It has a 64 gig card, but I just got 4 I want to say 256 gig for $80. So I got these. So we'll see. Oh, they had more colors. Confounded. I just went click, click. Dang it. So that should be cool. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my Meta glasses because the night vision goggles go like this, and I'm going to see if I can record with my night vision goggles while wearing my Meta glasses. I want to see if that's going to work. I want to see. I hope I get something. Ooh. Oh, that might be kind of fun. Because they'll probably fit over them, I'm guessing. The only thing is I'm not going to be able to see much. All these things are falling. What is that? What is that picture? Okay, we're just going to leave that. Oh, it's this. Okay, my brush. That's what my picture of. This is the lady in the lake. That's a fair. That's a plane that's in the lake. Plane ended up a lake. Lady in the lake at the base, air base in Fairbanks, Alaska. So, I got me some goggles, night vision goggles. I'll get them soon. I'm gonna try them with these Meta glasses over them, and to see if I could get some neat shit at 7,000 feet up in northern New Mexico. Because they always say that there's like UFOs and stuff here. And I'm outside a lot. I don't know. They don't want to see me yet. They don't want to see my face. You know why? Because they know what I'm going to say. They're going to go, she's going to want to drive the ship. Because she always wants to drive the ship. Every ship, it's like, can I drive it? No. Come on, let me drive it. I can do it. Like, no. This is our ship. I know, but I just want to see, like, how it accelerates and stuff like that. They don't like it when I drive the ship. Anyway, so that's the world we're living in because the dimensions are all melding. I live in all the dimensions. I have a Pisces stellium. I don't even live on planet Earth with everybody else. How they do. I find sitting in stadiums and doing this unuseful. I find sitting any place and doing this unuseful for hours and hours. Like, I can't, hey, what's up? I can't sit there and just do nothing. Like people that play video games, I think it's funny that we are human beings, or the beings of this earth with the opposable thumbs that are supposed to be the stewards. But more and more people are becoming stewards because every time I turn around, I see somebody getting saved, like a person saving an animal. You know, a lot of people are having their first time experiences. They weren't allowed to have frickin' pets when they were kids, and they're finding when they're finding out now is like, 20s, 30s, 40s, that like, because the distribution system finds them that that they get to experience, like animals are, they have souls, they have personalities, they have their own voices, they talk, you know they they uh they encourage, they support, and and that's what we're moving into. I mean, it's always been like this. The way the world is not any different than it's ever been in recorded history, because history is manipulation. Like, history is based on whoever owns the printers. My I had a cousin that worked at the I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember that because I was autistic and I wanted, and if you were family, because mom was adopted, so we didn't have any family on her whole side. It was empty. So whatever family we had on my dad's side, like, I clung extra to it. Like, I was extra fascinated about it. And so, like, we had a cousin, and because we go see him in Sacramento, cousin Janet and Dick, they were dinks, double income, no kids. And he had his career, whatever it was, 40 years, whatever, privilege, just traveling around. They had sublets in frickin' Hawaii forever, and they were dinks. And so, like, they had a swimming pool. So I love swimming because of my Pisces stellium. I'm a fish. I like to float. So, but she got all of her riches because she worked at a publishing company where they wrote textbooks. Now, here's the thing that I learned, because I grew up in California, which is in a big state. Now, my father was from Atascadero, California, central coastal California, but we have relatives in that, like, he has a cousin, second cousin, that's his name, Greg Hessick, that's like that was a banker in Los Angeles for like 25 years, and then he retired. He was like a president of a bank. And I was like, how can I be related to somebody that has that much money? That and we don't have food to eat, like, because if they don't like you, then you're gonna starve, and that's how the world is. And I learned that when I was real young. Even if it's your own family, because like I didn't know my brother hated me until recent. I am so slow. Sometimes I'm like, booyah, I'm on it, I'm fast, but sometimes I am just whoop, because I want to believe, because the goodness in me I just see the goodness in you, and damn it, if that shadow doesn't bite me in the ass because I'm not paying attention, I'm too busy focusing on all the freaking light, fluffy, airy, fairy, dippy shit. Dang it, it happened again. So, I mean, I'm related to the people that have the privilege. I'm just the scapegoat because, see, you know what happened is my dad was the screw up. He was the youngest of three. He always got in trouble. He just ran because he's like, I'm like him. I got the go fast inside. I got the need. They call it the need for speed. It's like an adrenaline junkie. It's like you do dangerous, stupid things. It's like, you like to race around because it makes your little ball sack tickle or whatever, whatever, it starts young and then they grow up with it and then they get Harleys and then they go on biker runs, poker runs, year in, year out, the Red River run, the this run, the that wreck, the poker run. I lived in Omaha, I went on they had like conferences, AA conferences and shit, which is an AA, so I can talk about it, but they had people in AA that you paid tickets. It's like, it's such a weird thing, people would record it, I'm like, They read the steps, traditions. They say Alcoholics Anonymous. They put up posters, but yet they're making a lot of money by selling these tapes. The world is so confusing to me. What? That's what those wily Freemason, Scottish Rite, whatever weird fraternal order of butt stuff clubs do. They're all the same to me. I don't care what they are. They're all just groups of people that take away from everybody so that some can have the most. And I find that troublesome. It doesn't rest with my spirit real easy. You know, granted up as with a single mom who frickin' just sacrificed, was broken, was abused, was kicked, had her head slammed in a car door, had her own son smack her upside the head. I still have to look at, every time I look at her, I'm reminded that Jerry hits girls. You know, he was raised, you don't hit girls, but hey, doesn't matter how they're raised. They just end up doing what they want, because that's what men do with their what? Their what? I was grown up taught that, like, women were smarter than, or girls were smarter than boys. Yeah, way more. Girls were smarter than boys until, like, junior high. And then all of a sudden the switch turns on, and then all of a sudden the men become intellectually superior to women. That's what. Anyway. Oh, I was talking about what happened with my dad. So what happened? My dad's a predator. He's a predator. And he saw my mom on the street in San Luis Obispo, and he stopped his bike and was like, "Hey, pretty little lady," hit on her, and she was looking for someone to take care of her. Because she didn't know how to navigate in the world. Because she's autistic and she grew up in an orphanage. Her social skills were... What is that? Facilitated? You know, she just got back from Seattle because she got an annulment from a guy that she married that was, you know, and so she's like, okay, hey guy, you know, he is an Aries, she's a Sagittarius. Fire sparks chemistry. He looked like people would tell him he looked like Magnum PI. He had the bushy porn mustache. He was a truck driver. He did all kinds of terrible things, and I don't think he ever went to jail. Yet they put mom in a psych ward at a tasker. Like, I mean, I've seen the inside of injustices, and so I've known a whole long time. Like, if they want to put you away, they're gonna put you away. They're gonna lock you up. You're gonna disappear. If there's like one, like, strategic, you know, like, it happens all the time. It happens every day. I am grateful that me and Mom are shut up in our little hole in New Mexico. And I stay home all the time, and I don't go out unless I have a reason. Because, dude, it's in my chart. Police, I have enemies in the freaking law enforcement. I'm sure I have them in at least in Philadelphia. I'm sure freaking Bobby Coyles looked me up. Why? Because I dated his girlfriend? I wonder if he looked up Kim and David and Matt and all the other people that had, you know, all the other days. She dated freaking hundreds of people, but I get the shout outs, so he forever gets, you know, because he's a predator. And predators see things in victims. And I was a victim. But he was a victim first, but he became a predator. I was a victim first, and I became a supporter of other victims and a survivor of all the things I've been through. All of them. I didn't do just 2 years freaking up in Fairbanks. Garden of freaking what? Garden that plane in the lake? Because that's what happens when, like, because I got off it. That was like that off it where when I was in, dude. I was like a main cast member in Central Casting. I was a main cast member. And you know, it was kind of funny that I was like started seeing like that America was like I could picture men sitting around a table saying, "Okay, we're gonna do this and this and this," and it's like 20 years in advance, you know. Because every airman that goes to off it, when you get there, they take you down into the war room. They take you down underground, whatever 8, 10 freaking stories, whatever it is, during like your orientation period. And they take you down there, and then you sit there, and like, this is where they decide. And then, like, and then I see the picture of because that's why baby bitch Bush came there on 9/11. I hung my arm out the door and flipped him off. I'm like, maybe, just maybe, there's a slight chance that he's looking out the window as he taxis by, and he sees this fucking somebody just. That was me on 9/11. Because there's protocol. It's no entry. You can't go in and out of doors. I wasn't going in and out. I was just. Because that's all. That's only. Because Because when I was a kid in 1980, George Bush came up to Reading. Because they all. When I grew up, they'd go up to hunting in the private reserves in Mount Shasta and all the areas around abouts. I wonder what they're hunting. Montana, they've freaking been hunting kids forever, dude. For all, Mom said that if I was that's why we moved to Reading, because I was bitching about leaving Grandma, and I love Grandma. My grandma was an Eastern Star. She was a witch. Like, I mean, I weird stuff has been happening to me my whole life. That's why I stay away from groups, because I don't want nobody to get me do nothing weird to me. Especially shit that hurts. I don't like doctors. I can tell, like, I don't like doctors. So, the world is opening up their eyes as to what the reality of the imposed narrative, the contrived reality. Like, as long as you buy the products to support the next holiday and just don't pay attention to, like, it's just so disingenuous for them to keep taking. It's toys. We're living toys. We're living that movie Toys with Robin Williams. We are living that movie Toys with Robin Williams. I need to live stream that movie. Maybe I'll do that right now. Maybe I'll get off here, I'll go over to TikTok, and I'll live stream Toys. Maybe that's what I'll do. It's time. See, my grandma was a colonial. She was she started, if you look up the Quota Club, the Quota, Quota, the Quota Club. I do this every single time. I can't keep track of anything. It's hilarious. I crack myself up. I can't even do it. But if you look up the Quota Club, in Atascadero, California, my grandma was one of the founding women in that club. Right? I was such a naive little kid that I look back in pictures and I'm like, dude, I'm a little Indian kid. I look like a little Indian kid. I'm a little brown kid. But my grandma was a colonialist. No, it wasn't cool because they did weird shit to me. Like my grandpa, he was a Freemason. I was 3, I remember 2, 3 years old, him teaching me and my brother how to play strip poker. See, cause I have a mind that was more advanced in my age. I learned how to play chess when I was 2, 3 years old. And I didn't like playing because I always lost, but my brother used me so he could become exceptionally good. And he would read books and he would study and he would cheat. Well, not cheat, like, but he just like he's a Virgo, imbalanced. See, everybody has to learn how to rectify the feelings inside them and decide if they're exciting or horrific, you know. And people will do whatever like, I don't know. They won't reap what they sow because they keep the people that they did harm to as a distance instead of making it right. And just make it right. That's all you gotta do. But, like, my birthday was on my 3rd birthday. They had a tea. See, because my birthday is a ritual day. It's April 9th. And the whole town, like, the Quota Club, if it's on Wikipedia, they had so much privilege and so much advantage, and they made life so hard for Ma, and Ma did such a good job to try to make life comfortable for us, living on frickin' shit. We lived in shitty places, cockroaches, frickin' they were drafty, they were cold, damp, concrete floors, tin roofs, no insulation. In Redding, when it commonly gets over 110 degrees, we lived in a place like that, like, we didn't have no, like, never had air conditioning. Like, what's air, like, rich people had freaking central air and stuff like that. Like, grandma was rich to me because we were so poor, just because she was intentionally making hard that's why we had to go to Redding. Because my mom and dad, they were hot and heavy for each other, and then they had my brother, and it was like he was the golden child. And then, like, grandma made sure that they got divorced, you know, and then she became the crazy bitch. And they got divorced, but then they hooked back up under some sort of circumstances, and then I came back. I was born on the 9th of April, which is a big sacrifice day. So I was born to be sacrificed over and over and over again my whole life. And the whole reason why I'm here. Yeah, I had the chicken pox in 117 degrees without any kind of, you know. We got to use the swamp cooler. My only remedy was I'd go fill up the bathtub, and I'd lay in the bathtub. That's the only thing I could do to just not want to come out of my flesh. Like, I've been meditating my whole life because I've always been in situations that I didn't want to be. So I'd go deep within myself to go to the no place space where all the fear that I had didn't exist. Meditation has saved my life. Learning how to meditate. And I learned when I was young, because every Christmas from the time I was 7 until I was 12, all the fun Christmas years, I spent on a Greyhound bus. We'd get on a bus and someplace, Bakersfield, San Luis Obispo, someplace. And we'd just know that it'd be 11 hours before we got to Redding. And I'd stare out the window and I-5 and Celine and like all the they like sometimes they'd take, you know, they'd go all the mountain town. Like, I've seen so much of California. It's just I've seen so much of California, and I never believed that there's 38 million people in that state ever. Because of all the places I've been, I said, where are they all at? It's just made up numbers. They take numbers They make people sad, they drink, do drugs, and then there's people that take them or take the broken, the orphans, the foster kids. There's just people that go watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The Kid Catcher. That movie freaked me out because I had been gotten by a kid catcher when I was a 10-month-old baby. And I saw that guy and I was like, I know what they do. I know what they do when they catch the kids. I know what they do. I know what they do in the dentist chairs. I know what they do. I know what they do. Like, I don't want to know these things. I don't want to know these things. I don't want to know these things. All the things I know, I don't want to know. I know. I know how dark the world is, and now the rest of the world is starting to see how dark the world is, and that is the part that is starting to like trip me out. Watching myself watch the rest of the world wake up to the world that I have only known and they're just like getting glimpses of, because I never exist. Everywhere I go, I tell people stories about things that have happened to me in life, and people will look right in my face and they will say, that doesn't happen. Or they'll say, that only happens on TV. And I'll be like, hey, program, wake up. I'm real. It happened to me. My hip pops from what happened when I was a 10-month-old baby. People die from what happened to me when I was a 10-month-old baby. And people are figuring out the whole world is run by the Epstein class because of frickin' Cain and the biblical stuff and the la-di-da and all that crap. And so my whole life I was punished because I was my dad's mistake. That they were divorced free and clear. They were done. And then he had to go get... Because that's what ego does. It drives them to do whatever they want. And then here I come, and they were shooting things into me when she was pregnant. I don't know why I'm still alive, honestly. Start thinking about it, I really don't. I don't. Like, I'm here to carry mom... Because mom's the traveler. She has a 5-planet stellium in... Sagittarius, so I'm here to make sure she gets where you got shot. Boom. I didn't get shot. I got shots. I got 8 anthrax vax in my arms. I wonder if that's why my muscles are... See, that's why I don't... I have this theory, this belief that, like, it's heavy metals. It's the toxins, it's the heavy metals. And when they put those in people frequently, it builds up and then it turns your cells. It makes your cells sad. Aw. Because it hurts. Aw. It frickin' hurts. Have frickin' formaldehyde shot in your arm with anthrax vaccine that isn't even really a thing. I never believed anthrax was a thing. Ever. Back in 2000, I came across a lady when I was in Oregon that she had the anthrax vaccines too. And she said there was a study, this was back 10 years ago, 2016, 9 years ago, 70, somewhere around that. And she said that she came across studies that only 50% of the people that had were in that study are still alive. And that was 10 years ago. So I must be in the like 20th percentile. So I got to be sure I don't get worked up, And I got to make sure that, but my heart, see, and I can't run. So, cardio has always been a bitch to me because my ankles are bad. I have legitimate bone spurs because my tendons were torn. I had surgery on it the last year I was in the military, the Brostrom procedure, because I kept rolling my ankle and they had me do physical therapy. I'm like, this is doing nothing. I still roll it. And then the surgeon said that I don't remember the name of the tendons. There's only 2 tendons on the side of your foot. I was Air Force. I flipped off George Bush on 9/11. I was on Crete when we bombed Iraq. I have pictures right over here. That's why I talk about the how it's a control, because I was behind the scenes. It was 2003. They had 75 Humvees before Humvees weren't sold on the public market, I think, until '09. That's what they do, is they have wars and they make shows like MASH. And look at all the people that still drive Jeeps because they went to bed with na 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 na. Oh, I got one of those vibrating plates. I'm just unmotivated. That's the thing. Let me see if I can find my loot. Let's see here. Okay. There's this. I think my hair is actually longer now, but it used to be long like it is. Marge. They never call me Airman. They never call. I was always Marge. Even on my plaque, they spelled my name wrong. I just need to. I don't have any space here, and I have entirely. I'm trying. There's just. I have so many reasons why. I've gotten on the vibration plate. You know what I should do is I should take it outside with my Jackery generator and do it outside in the fresh air. Go out, take mom off in a road and go up on a mountain road and someplace. No, please never say that. Please don't ever. I'm gonna say this one time. And you're nice. 'Cause usually I will freaking usually I'm trying to be a grown up more, but my thing, if you go around the internet and if you ever see I'm sorry for your service, I'm sorry for my service airman. I am the I'm sorry for my service. Everywhere I go, I'm sorry for my service. Every time I see somebody sleeping in a car with their dog and their cat, because they got, because they're homeless, because they can't afford rent, I'm sorry for my service. Every time more homeless people get homeless, every time more people can't pay, every time ballrooms, every time parties, every time golf, every time, and more single moms, are lied to by the man that, all that stuff. I'm sorry for my service. I'm sorry that all of the fucking money is wasted on bullshit that doesn't matter. When the only thing that matters is that everybody has clean water, some fresh air to breathe, and a purposeful life. To be able and have opportunity to do something that they want. Dude, I wonder what I would be if I got to grow up on a farm and learn how to drive a tractor when I was 3, because I certainly had the capability and the ability to. I was making pancakes. This is, what the military is about? It's about selling stuff like this. It's about, they make movies like Beaches, okay? And then in the movies, they have songs, Wind Beneath Your Wings, like Bette Midler, right? Then they put people in hard situations to make hard choices. Go fight for your country. I just wanted a college degree. I'm one of those people. I don't like to be told what to do, But I knew what my future held because I'm a seer. And I was like, I have to do this in order to take care of mom. I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know war was going to come and I was going to go to Crete, the island of Crete, and figure out that all this lying bullshit and 911 controlled demolition and just on their ritual days every single time and just, it's just all adds up and, it's just so frustrating. Okay, So back onto Wind Beneath My Wings. Like Mom and I watched that together. You know, I'm a sappy, you know, so I go off to the Air Force. I just come through the Warrior Week and basic training the last week, and this is where you've earned your Air Force coin. I think it should say Air Farce. Okay? So this is your Air Force coin, okay? And then on the back, because there was what? How many people in my squadron? I have a t-shirt with all the girls' names on it. And then there's a brother flight to the sister flight that the dudes get there at the same time. Yeah, pretty much. And then they have these on the back. So that's like 300 coins every rotation. And back then, people were enlisting because there was like buses, you know, there were people, you know, there's the people that head of you that help you, and then like you're the one after time passes that helps the newbies, and you're, you know. It says Air Force core values: integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. And then like, because to me this meant something, right? And then Warrior Week, where they give it to you, they played Wind Beneath Your Wings. And I was like, dude, this is a psyop. Like, this is like... Because I was old, too. So I went in old. Like, we're going to have to sign a waiver because you're an old lady. There's only one lady older than me. So I wasn't grandma. But, so it's about printing these and selling these and making you believe in things when the reality of it is people are all drunk, coked out, freaking, you know, using the jet to go to parties, you know. But my era, they were using jets to go to Langley. They would use... Officers are known to do military exercises. Because I knew that I was going to have to get a good job to take care of Mom, because the dude slammed her head in a car door. So I was going to have to at least get a bachelor's degree to get a blue-collar job, because I was a mechanic in the Air Force. I'm losing my hearing because I was a mechanic. We worked on everything. Yeah, I got a bachelor's degree. When I worked at Creighton, I took 2 classes of a human computer interface class. How many clicks does it take? And then like an SAP server course that was a living nightmare for me. And I was like master's degree in IT or retarded. So I was a mechanic in the Air Force, and then I got out to be in IT, and I worked at Creighton University, and I was like the lead student service desk. It was like Geek Squad for students that worked part-time to work for their dorm and shit. Like, you work 20 hours a week in one department on the campus, and then you get to live there. So this is Operation Iraqi bullshit. I found this camera on accident. That's the part that's a trip. Is I had my backpack in my car, and because I was living off basically Oscar Mayer hot dogs and cheese. And so this is an air base it's right next. It's so weird because all this stuff was happening while the tourist season was launching. It was a trip. College was the only reason I joined. So there's that, and then I have a few of them, like this one. There's one that you can see, like the whole row. This is the sun, because it's about sun worship. This is where the majority of the members stayed. It's not like this anymore, so I'm not... Dude, they freaking blow OPSEC now. I'm just telling stories of how it used to be. You know? And how... This is what war looks like. Sitting by the pool. Chilling. And we drop bombs and people die. And then we come back here and have parades about it. And there's never any weapons of mass destruction. It's all... Dude, I remember watching PBS in like the 80s. And they did a documentary on what it would take to knock those towers down. And it was like, you know, where they would... And I was just like... And then I saw it acted out. But how many people watched that PBS show back then? I was always a nerd, a geek. So I can't stand Humvees now because of this shit. And people are like, "Oh, go America, drop bombs." I'm just like, they are regular people, just like people in Cincinnati, Ohio, or San Francisco. Like when they go boom, 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 or Taos, New Mexico, or Salem, Oregon, or they're just like, you know, going to the grocery store and here comes America, boom, 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 and I'm just. And then the Marines go in and do their raping and pillaging, because that's what men do. Men do that a lot. They rape and they pillage. They get all turned on from the booms. Just like the first time they rode that little motorcycle. And sometimes they turn on the women in their own groups. That didn't happen to me. That's not my story, thank God. Here's me at the pool. At the Panorama. That's the pool that I stayed at. I have one of these. Sometimes I'll show the background. I have a picture of it here on the green screen. Oh, yeah. That's the ugly part. That's the hotel I stayed in. I swam in that pool. They just redid it when I was there because it was right before tourist season, because it was March 20th and tourist season kicks off at Orthodox Easter. I went down on this really cool monk walk. It's a mile and a half down. That was a fucking workout, dude. That was a gnarly ass workout. I always been in pretty good shape, I guess. I'm dropping pictures. I guess I'll find them later. Here's the Humvee picture one. All of those are all Humvees. See, because it's all tested on the military first, and then they open it up to the main market. It's all about money, see? It's the industrial military contract. You know why JAGs exist? Army, mostly because when people go off to war, they fucking cheat on their spouses because they screw around. Because people are weird. Some people get turned on by that shit. It's weird. It's in them. It's not in me. It's not in me. But it's like I got to go to freaking I got to go where the gods walked, supposedly, you know? Where I think that we kind of, I don't know, hold that. Here's me screwing around in the pool. No. So it was like playing tourists while people died. It was such a weird thing. They had a going away party for me. Ooh, let's see if I can find my other coin. I have all these old AA coins. Oh, God. Everywhere. A couple of them I made, like, keychains out of them. Had, like, 14 or 15 of them. It's all a club. It's all a cult. It's all go along to get along, and if you don't get along, then you're odd man out. It's all, and I'm always the odd man out in every group, so. This what I like. This what I think is cool because I don't know what it represents because things represent different things to different people. But I got this one. It says age. That was my career field. It says in honor of freedom, dedicated to the mission of bullshit. On the back, it's Dynastar. See, because I'll tell you about what our mission was. It says the power behind the mission. Offutt Air Force Base. That's where George Bush came on 9/11. It's in Wikipedia. And on here, you can't really see it, but in that little box right there, it has numbers stamped. And that number stamp, it says 125 out of 200. Some might think that's kind of a big deal that only 200 exist. I don't know if they do or not. It's a coin. They used to have coin checks that if you dropped your air, someone would bring out their airman's coin, and if you dropped it, you had to buy a round for everybody in the room. Like, it's just so centered about not being at home doing what's right. They lied to me my whole life. But I always saw through the lie. Because, see, Mom always taught me that I had to face the truth. That I couldn't... Marge, they're going to tell you that they like you, but there's actions that people do. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than rules. She used to drill these things into my head like you have to understand. Like, you can't just go along with people because they're being nice to you. Because people will trick you. My aunt came to get me for ice cream when Mom was at a doctor's appointment getting a follow-up from the rest of her hysterectomy, because they only gave her a partial when I was born. They cut her uterus in half and only took one of her ovaries. And so later, when I was a little older, they did the rest, and they were checking, like, I guess, incision site, whatever, how she was healing, whatever, and they wouldn't let me and my brother go in the room, and they always let us go. And they're like, no, stay out in the waiting room. And then my aunt came. We're gonna go get ice cream. I never liked that lady. She was always like, she was just, I know how I could feel people, man. She don't feel good. And I didn't get to see my mom for 8 months. And I just always think about, like, imagine Mom coming out and her like, where are my kids? And imagine how the doctor's office frickin' helped my grandma frickin' let my aunt kidnap us. And that's how it's, I mean, like, if they want to get you, they're going to get you. If you're gettable, you're going to get got at some point. That's one reason why I put myself everywhere on the internet. Because if I'm going to get got, the whole world's going to see it. And Mom's going to be with me too, probably. So you better get her too. I mean, but we never lived in the tangible world. We always lived in the ethers, because we're always praying, please, 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 and not, like, we didn't we went without food a lot. Several times. I hated holidays because they always made Mom feel bad. We'd get stuff in our stockings, like a pack of sugar-free gum, an orange, and an apple. And then my brother hated my mom. Like, he resented her. Like, why can't you provide more? You should be going to work. She was born with 2 club feet. Walking was a task for her. And she walked to the grocery store. She already had to walk everywhere. Every time she'd get in an old car, she'd try to put it together. Brakes would go out. A guy would be like, oh, how much you got? $30. Oh, too bad, it's 50, but we could take it out and trade. Stuff like that. But she always kept her dignity in her class. She never sold her ass. I guess that's okay for some. I tried once. I tried to get into the adult film industry to pay bills about 10 years ago. I didn't know the first place to look. I'm glad it didn't happen. I understand why people do the things that they do. I just think that, instead of America doing freaking this ball, just whatever America does, whatever the dudes sitting around the table that are writing the stories that are going on, I think that, they just need to give more money to people. $2,000. $2,000. At least $2,000. And nobody should have to pay for a place to live. Whatever structure's standing now, it's like that. What was that? What was that game? What was it? Where you would, God, we used to play so many more playground games. They don't play games on the playground anymore. They don't play heads. They don't play no. They just game is what's done on the TV. It's so sad. But I think the creatives are coming back because everybody's autistic now. Everybody, all these parents, dude, you better start, that are in your 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, I'm okay, Ethan and what's his name? The kid that does the Michael Jackson. They're great. They're cute. They're teenagers. The one is diabetic. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Like, so many people should not be so unhealthy. Everybody just needs to start their health journey because you gotta work to live on this planet. You do. It's a weird place. It's a school. It's an education. It's a alien ant farm. It's a bizarro world. It's just so many things that the books. I think it's more Phantom Toll Booth in A Wrinkle in Time than it is come bring your kids out to sit on Santa Claus's lap. But that's just been my experience because my whole life is woo woo, and I have the ability of telekinesis. I've done. I call it my life. I do it with other things, but I don't talk about it here. But my main thing is it's my lighter trick. Is that I put a lighter. I take somebody else's hand. I say, hey, you want to see my lighter trick? And they're like, okay. I say, hold out your hand. And they hold out their hand. And I balance the lighter on their pinky. And then I do what I do. And the lighter rocks back and forth. Back and forth. And then until I get it to actually fall off their hand. Usually I catch it. Sometimes I don't. I've done it to people everywhere. Like, people have seen it. They'll try. Like, it's funny, Virgos. This chick I went to high school, I did it for her when I first figured out I could do it. Because it's cooperation is nature's way. It's agreement. And I watched a kid do it with a coconut. Yeah, telekinesis. I watched a kid do it with a coconut, and I'm like, it's the fluid inside. He's cooperating with his energy field is cooperating with the milk inside, and that is tipping. And I said, I bet I could do that with the lighter. I tried it. I did it. I'm not going to talk. That's as far as I talk about it here. And then I had Mom try it, and I get it from her. See, because Mom bloodline has been here since like the 1400s. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. She's probably in the bloodline. She's Spanish and indigenous. So her blood is from the Spain and the conquistador and all that. Their machismo shit. And then indigenous to the Americas. And then my dad's blood is the Freemason. I'm a weird anomaly. Like, the fact that I exist. There's a man that wrote a book named Isaac Walton that my grandma Edith was related to. Yeah. He wrote the first fishing book ever, which was called The Angler, A Complete Guide to Fishing. He has a whole, Isaac Walton has a whole, like, foundation based out of Massachusetts. And I'll go over there and I'll be like, hey, I'm related to this guy. And nobody says anything. I'm like a direct relative. Like, I have had, on my dad and grandma's side, the Freemason side. No, I'm in New Mexico now. But my dad Freemason side, they're all they had I have a relative that signed the Declaration of Independence because they were in the room. I am the scapegoat because I am the truth teller. Like all the fraternal shit. This is why I got sacrificed. That's the fraternity that my brother's in. That's why I make fun of all the fraternities. They're all the fraternal order of butt stuff. He's marked. He's mad that he's like, he probably has had it removed by now. But like he threw me and Mom away as his sacrifice because I was like, dude, Jerry, I need a place to live. And the guy between he and his wife, they bring home like $1 million every 2 years. And if you look at the history of his pay scale, he goes from like, it was like 32 to 96,000. Who does that in the state system? People with Freemasons. I mean, he sold us out a long time ago, but it was easy for him to do because he always hated me. Because I was the do-gooder. I always told the truth. So he would do his dastardly things. Like, one time, that's why, because I tell stories, but they're parts of my life. Like, I came home one time, I couldn't sit on the couch. I said, hey, what's wrong with the couch? It was his bed. It was like his, and then Mom and I slept in the bed, and we lived in like a motel on the side of the interstate. It doesn't even exist anymore. And he's like, like, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And he's just like, just sit there. And I'm like, no, it's hard. It's hard. I can't sit on this. So I look under, and there's cases and cases of soda and stuff like that. Snacks and stuff. And I was like, hey, where'd you get this? We don't have any money. We're poor. You can't buy this. He's like, shut up. And then it was like, and then so I said, okay. I said, I don't care. And then what it turned into is I was taking 6 packs of soda to school and then selling them out of my locker for 50 cents. I was in 7th grade, I think. So what is that, 12, 13? And then somehow it got caught on. And then I had to go to the principal's. I got suspended on my birthday one year for calling Mr. Smith a dirty old man. And he, in fact, was a dirty old man. What? So... where was I? So this... oh, the soda thing. And then what happened was... I found out what happened. Because I'm a truth teller. And when you're... oh, these left lines in my forehead. That's funny. When I'm a truth teller... when you're a truth teller, the truth will find you. When you seek the truth will seek you. And so, I found out that he, because he was like 15. So he was, yeah, I do. I just don't know what it's called right now. Because I have, like, account, like, everywhere. Pretty much. Except for the new shit. I don't care. They lost me. And I never had WhatsApp and all that shit. Oh, so his friend's dad had a key to a distribution center where they distributed like chips and snacks and stuff like that, vending machines plus the big bags, jerky, all kinds of stuff, soda. And so there's all these tunnels under Reading because they're all Freemason towns. And they went in and took whatever they wanted and then took it home. But we live in such a small place, he couldn't frickin' stash it anywhere. And he's not that smart. And he's more of a planner guy. You tell him any date in history, and he can tell you what day of the week it's on. He's one of the script writers. I swear. If there's men sitting around a table deciding how people are gonna think America is, he's one of the writers. He used to be a writer, and then he quit writing in public. But he became a lawyer, and that's what law is. Is they are writing words on a page, and that all they do deliberating is they're talking back and forth and looking at it like this and looking at it like that. All they're doing is looking at a law. They're not even deciding if the person is falling under the constraints of it. They're just going back and forth. It's all an illusion. Lawmakers are script writers, no different than Hollywood. That's why I say Hollywood and DC are the same. They're the same overpaid people that don't do their own laundry, that don't do their own grocery shopping, that don't understand what it's like to be a regular person. And then everybody has a loved one that has like a traumatic head injury or a heart attack. My heart goes out to every time I open my social media and it's just like I'm on my way to say goodbye to my dad. And I'm thinking, dude, your dad is my age. Or my mom died, and I'm like, your mom is my age. So the program didn't work. All the things that they said, just go live that best life, the good life, play. No, you have to work because you have to force your blood through your veins to keep your arteries, everything clear. We're just an ecosystem. We're our own universe. And as much as people trash themselves, the planet gets more trash. I'm over here freaking pumping iron to save the planet. Because we're the other ones that, aren't at the gym just looking at, trying to hit up on, all the nasty stuff. I don't like gyms. Gyms are creepy. I had to go to the gym when I was in the Air Force because my body had to be a certain shape. It's just all control and manipulation. But the thing of it is everything they throw at me, I just adapted to. Everything they threw at me, I just did. I was going through stuff today. I'm dealing with the VA right now. I'm going through old papers, and I have all... When I left, when I was doing my discharge, I went to every department and got my medical records, and then I went back to the aid shop and printed a copy of every single one of my medical records. Because you get to check them out, and then you have to do out processing and then take them back. But I printed a copy of mine. So what I did, I found my old hearing test, and then it has how much it has my 2005, so it shows how much my hearing loss I have. So I have screenshots everywhere. I have people think I guess I'm like a Columbo, that people think I'm kind of dumb, but I'm kind of like this I came up with this shit when I was 9 years old. I've been building this thing since I was 9 years old. I have the picture in the other room. I always did the rainbow like this because this is how the rainbow made... I don't even know the regular order of the rainbow. Because I always did it like this. Yellow, orange, red, green, blue, purple. Straight people like rainbows too. I was 9 years old when I first drew this picture. And now I have stickers, magnets, t-shirts. I'm a one Marge operation. Because I just do side stuff. I just do stuff on the side while I take care of mom. I found a cousin on the internet. She lives in Oklahoma. Neat lady. She's on my grandma's side, the Eastern. She has all the she got all the privilege of being the daughter of an Eastern Star that I didn't. Like the stables, horses, all of it. She keeps wanting me to go out there, but like the weather is shit. Like where I live, the weather is the best weather of any place I've ever been on the planet. It's like the weather here is it's like weird how nice the weather is here. Anyway, so yeah, I just went to Taos Canyon Cannabis. They had them there. I brought stickers and T-shirts there, but but I got so pissed off at them, I went and took my shit. And I said, you just take out my envelope. I didn't even care if I sold anything. If there's anything, I doubt I did, but I didn't care. You just freaking throw that money. That just I don't want. I just bad taste in my mouth. Bad. I just they had the only reason that I'll go in there to buy chocolate until I figure out how to make my own infused chocolate, and then that's another thing. I wonder if I could show that. I wonder if I could show my fairy dust. I bet I could. I got fairy dust. You want to see what I used to make my caramel? Let's see. Okay. I don't know where fairy dust is. Okay. Nope. I might. Okay. So, see, this is how I give back. Because I'm so sorry for my service. Me and mom, our bills are taken care of. So I got fairy dust. And then I put it in cream, sugar, some Madagascar, vanilla, and I make caramel. And I give it to people that are in pain. And they get a good night's sleep. So, one day, when I meet my maker, and my maker says to me, what did you do in this experience to make things better or worse? Like that movie, Defending Your Life. What did you do? I say, well, I don't know if I did anything directly. I did facilitate a lot of people that chose to eat a cookie and have a good night's sleep rather than drink 8-9 beers for a while. And I facilitated a lot of good night's sleep. A lot of people had a good night's sleep. Because it's hard. The world isn't supposed to be this hard. The control freaks are freaking out. They're out of control. Because that's all. They know that if you go watch that movie, the end of Raiders, or just, you don't even have to watch the whole movie. Just go to YouTube and watch the end of, go to the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. When Indy tells the girl, so whatever you do, don't look until I tell you. And then they open the ark and all the lightning Yeah, and does all that stuff, you know, and they're melt and all that shit. Spoiler alert. They do all that stuff, and then, you know, because like it's the curious, like you have to, like, if you don't ever resist yourself in life, if you don't ever hold yourself back and discipline yourself in some kind of way, then I don't know if anybody could find peace. I'm trying to get these lines out of my forehead that my glasses gave me. So, oh, I didn't want to leave a. Why does technology does weird stuff all the time? Whoop, weird stuff. Anyway, all right, I'm tired. I was only gonna come on for a few minutes until Mom went to sleep, and I think I've been on blah blah blah, frickin' hour and a half. I don't even know what day it is. I am so glad that every day is like Sunday for me. That is the best part about it. Whatever is that me and Mom get. Hey, Mom, you want to go for a ride today? Yeah, sure. Let's go for a ride today. Okay, let's go for a ride. Want a hot dog? Sure. Okay, that's great. Like, I can do whatever I want. And then I go around and I give people stickers. I got these the other day before I go. I don't know if I'm quite done yet. Let me see. I might have a little Stone Temple Pilots. Oh, used to love Chimbawamba. Chumbawamba. Chumbawamba Chimba. I got all of these. I need to put these glasses away before I break them. Oh, here's a couple right here. And I get up again. I get knocked down. And I get up again. And I get knocked down. And I get up again. Okay, so this is my shirt. It's in white. Straight is purple. I don't know. This light's kind of weird. I don't want to turn on the white, but they're in white. And I had them done in black too. I'm looking for a new embroiderer. So those are the t-shirts. They're embroidered. They're nice. My ex did them. She's super talented. And then I got this whole box. And that's what me and Mom do in life, because I go around and I give people this shit. I just give it to them. You like stickers? Yeah? Sometimes I'll smack one up. I got magnets. I'll go into a store and I'll put magnets up. I'm always looking, because you'd be surprised how many surfaces aren't magnetic. I'm like, oh man, I'm smacking stuff off, and then like I'll put one in a gas station or something, or like a food mart or Smith's and then I'll take a picture of it, and then I want to send it to people in different parts of the country. They're pretty thin. And then have other people put them up in their community, because I'm autistic, and I thought they said artistic, and I came up with this shit. Those are the only two. I like magnets because of my magnetic personality. So yeah, and we give people stickers and stuff, and I lose a lot of them. I put them in my pocket, they fall out. Oh my god. I legitimately am a clown. It was my ex that said I was a Heyoka. I said, okay, whatever that is. Whatever you say, yes. Whatever you say. She's a vegetarian, and now she's with the dude that worked at like a commercial butcher. And I think it's just weird how life turns out. She's a talented artist. There's a museum. I told somebody about that today. There's a museum in Omaha called the Joslin Art Museum. And there's an artist called Chihuly. He's a famous. He blew glass. Yeah. S. And she put that up in the museum. So, she's pretty talented. Yeah, I was raped as a 10-month-old baby. I don't know if I could ever, like, be with a dude. I don't think my body would like it. Ever. Like, I mean, like, and then plus, I was, like, inverted. So I was supposed to be born veiled, but they did they used to, what did they, it was called it? In vitro, oh gosh. It's like blocking hormones in vitro. I don't know where his museum is. What up is Oregon? He's a complete asshole. Evidently, the chick that invited to live with us in Flagstaff, she was like, she knew him or something. Like her uncle was friends with him, and I was like, okay, but where's your uncle now? So, anyway, Shannon and I were friends just until the other day. Cause I know what I do is got to make her uncomfortable. Cause I'm out in public. Like I sent her the video of me and Deputy Doofus of Taos County, that got over 1 million views on other people's channels. Like I mean, like I'm just Marge. I'm nobody, right? I just have lived this life, this remarkable life, and other people that haven't lived remarkable lives, I'm not going to come across their FYP. It's like somebody who's had a life extraordinary, different than everybody else's. I come across, I'm like a Native American, lizard, half lizard, because I think those what the Freemason are. They are the low vibers that are into butt stuff and playing chase in the woods, because that's what my brother has always liked to do with this fraternity of friends. Their trips, camping trips, fishing trips, hunting trips with the boys. Years and years. I mean, when you grew up in Redding, California, you know what happens. There's the Freemason Lodge that I was in the 88. I was like, dude, you have to wear these dresses. I said, I will never go back there and do that thing again. And all my friends were doing it. The Rainbow Girls, I said, no, that's stupid. What are you doing? Why are you people doing this? Let's go hang out at the lake. Let's go watch The Princess Bride. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? What is this dumb stuff? And right below that is Lost Lanes. And everybody knows about the rocks at Lost Lanes with the bloodstains. Everybody. But that's what runs every freaking fraternal order of. Brotherhood of. It's all butt stuff. It's all the protecting the system. Up. Agency or welfare for the employees. There's never about taking care of us and saving us. Military is never about taking care of America. Because if it was, what the military, I always thought the military should be? Is like, I'm an age mechanic in the military, but like, in order to, like, I should be doing that, like, people should be doing that in their towns. Not on a base. Like, go back to your town and do your function. And then if you're called because somebody's coming into America to cause harm, that's the only purpose America should serve. Is to protect the United States of America. And only we have never, ever, in all of the history books, ever, we had never had any reason to engage and kill anybody on any other soil. because our whole primary purpose should have been protecting this soil and making sure that the soil is clean and that it rejuvenates and that people go to school and they study. They're called the Aggies in every state. We're all these, scientists that make things better. Everything gets sold off, outsourced, blah. America sold its soul in 1776, and now it's 250 years into a civilization. Because America, as far as I'm concerned, America ended with COVID. That's when people took the knee, that I was just like, this country's over. They're gonna do whatever they want. They're gonna do whatever they want. They're just gonna run with it. It's gonna get crazy. And I've been talking about it since, and it's been unfolding, and people could go back and watch my old videos and be like, man, this shit, dude, this bitch knows what she's talking about. Oh my god. Oh my god, she's not really a dummy. She just plays what I don't know. I don't even play. I'm just me. Yep, so anyway, it's an interesting life. More people are waking up to it, though. They certainly are. Social media all over the place, everywhere. I never thought I'd be so happy to see people are like, it's all sometimes when I'm feeling ornery when something happens like this. What did she say? Oh, don't say proud of me. Pride is a fool's emotion. There's so many. This girl is like, I don't know. People are learning what they need to do to take care of herself. I can't do cold plunges. The idea of a cold plunge to me is no. I think because I disassociate. I don't need a people do that because it disassociates. I could disassociate. I don't need a just give me a minute. I'll just go to the no place space. I will completely check out of this reality. All I need is a couple breaths and boop, where'd she go? Not here. That's funny. So when I'm feeling kind of cheeky, today I'll go and I'll get the lyrics to the Muppets song. You know what the Muppets are? Or I'll say something like military intelligence is an oxymoron. Just because it's punny to me. Not because it's accurate. And so sometimes I'll say things like, where is it? I know other people have, I'm trying to find it. Okay. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started. Why don't you get things started? Well, I always dreamed we'd be back here. Dreams? Those were nightmares. It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Muppetational. This is what we call the Muppet Show. And so when every time that something like happens, like happened last night at the Pony Show, I'll go through and just paste this. Every time it comes up in my feed, I'll just paste that. And now people are starting to catch on. They're starting to get it. I'm starting to make sense to some more people that I never made sense before. One of my comments is about to hit 50,000. I've never had a comment on TikTok. And then other comments around me, 200, because I keep tracking numbers. I'm looking at trends to see what people are focusing on. And this lady, you ever seen her before? I don't know who she is. I only see her one time. Chloe Foriero. All the love for Maddie Kowalski. I'll go to war for her. See, Emily Pike is my gal. She's got the space in my heart. Emily Pike, Emily Pike, Emily Pike. Oh, but so I wrote on this, I was 10 months old. I'm going to be 52. My hip still pops. And that's about to hit 50K. So my video with Deputy Doofus of Taos County last year went viral on other people's channel. Like, quick. I haven't seen him around. That was it right there. That it was sideways. 'Cause I was busy. That was one of the... Oh, if you just fast forward to the last 3 minutes, I think that is the most telling part, because that kid... Yeah. That kid went back, called his supervisor after doing what he did came back to me with his tail between his leg. And just said, "Thank you, have a nice day." Like, I wonder what his supervisor said. Is it the bitch in the Suburban? Walk away. Walk away. Is it the bitch in the... It's the bitch in the Suburban, isn't it? Yeah, it's the bitch in the Suburban. Fucking walk away, dude. Yeah. I've been ESP my whole life. My brother's MK Ultra. Mom just kept me out of the system. I didn't get caught up with it. I got all those abilities. I can't get upset. Shit breaks. Usually cups. Handles on cups. Just being in my presence. Just because I vibrate so high that if I don't contain it, usually, like, because I am telekinesis, my energy field is magnetic. People perceive me based on their perception. I'm a Heyoka. We're shadow and light. We work in both. I use both sides of my brain. Heyoka, we're duality. I'm masculine and feminine. I'm mostly masculine. It's in my chart. 6 masculine planets, 4 feminine. That's why we have men that go to war, because if you were to look at their chart, it would say like 6 feminine, 4 masculine, and they're trying to overcompensate for the wanting to be little spoon. That's why we go to war, because men individually feel at conflict with themselves, so they gather with other men and they go to war, and then it turns into butt stuff and orgies. It's weird. This is the planet we live on, and that's what... Dude, why do you think that, like, so many... Oh, my dad never talked about the war. He doesn't want you to know what he did. He doesn't want you to know why he drinks every night to oblivion, because he can't believe he got caught up and did the same shit himself. He can't believe that he killed people, and then he comes back here and he still wishes he could do it because it gave him a thrill. Or he's a policeman and he still gets to every day. But then the thing of it is like, when they go over there in the contrived reality and they actually kill people, and they come back here, it comes a real gray line on... That's why you gotta make everybody your friend, because it makes a real gray line on who the good guys and bad guys are to these guys. Especially if they're always down a bottle. Especially if they're on drugs and, you know. Only thing... I make caramel with fairy dust. That's all I do. That's the only thing I do. I don't do pain pills. I hurt all the time. Hurt all the frickin' time every day. But I'm getting more physical though, so I quit my massage lady because I don't need her. She did a good job. She helped me through the hard times. It's maintenance about it's about maintenance because like inflammation. It's about gas and pressure building up because of the thoughts that we have, of the foods that we eat. What do I do for works? I don't know what that means. I save the planet. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means. I'm a stay-at-home daughter. Oh, stretching is help. I like to stretch, but I'm always stretching. I'm always screwing around. I'm always I miss. Oh, that hurt. I'm just a clown. Ooh, I got this stuff. I'm not really into like healthcare or like face regimen and stuff like that. I don't have any mirrors in my house. So when you see me brushing my hair online, it's because I can see it. Because I have a little like one of those mirrors that you put on your sun visor in your car in the bathroom. So I could look at it, make sure I didn't miss any nutshells when I brush my teeth or something. I think I might. I've always wanted to do stand up. I'll come up with stuff all the time. Like I have this whole bit about how I end up in Taos, New Mexico. Mom was born here. It's the land of the stupid cousin because I'm surrounded by people that are my cousin. I'm related to these people. People in the government. There's this guy in New Mexican Citizen. His thing is audits. He goes in and says, "I want to get a whatever at the county clerk's office," and they always just they cock block him. They just block it. In like his last video, I'm in the comment section. I said for a second, I said at first I thought his beard was like one of those that you put on for a play with glue. So I thought his beard was one of those that you put on with glue, like one of those pretend beards. Because they're all these tiny little brown men. Kill Tony. I don't know who Kill Tony is. I've been watching Matt Houston lately. That's my jam right now. I watched that when I was a kid. That's my early childhood program. I wanted to be Matt Houston. Dude, I was 6 years old. Mind you, this movie came out in 1982. AI, they already had AI on TV. He had a computer. CJ would type stuff in. Tell him that I want to know. And she'd just go tippity tappity type. And then Babe the computer. That's why I call Meta my glasses. I call it Babe. Hey, Babe, tell me. And I'll be like, how much money did they spend on the regional bus transit here in Taos, New Mexico? And then Babe will tell me 17.8 million. And then I'll say, how many people are in Taos, New Mexico County, Taos County? And Babe will tell me 34,000. And then I'll ask Babe, how many of those people already have cars and are likely to use those blue buses? And they said 14,000. Or what? Or no. What was it? There's 14,000 households, 2 cars per household. And so the likelihood was 6,000 people. They spent $17.8 million on a maintenance bus facility for 6,000 people. Yeah, people could use it to go to Santa Fe. And then you drive by on a Saturday when people are out. And I think they should be running more on the weekends. Because that's what you're for. And people don't have to pay for them, but they're never running. It's all money laundering. I just want people to see how agency and you know how many people that work there. That's the thing. When they say, "Oh, we're going to spend all this money for jobs," you want to know how many people work in that place. NCRTD employees. The people that sit in the office, 16. 16 people. They just sit in the office. They have their own gym. They can work out. It's all gated. They probably bring their people. No, I'm just saying. Operations, including bus drivers, 34. 34. So for 50 people, 43 buses. 40 passenger buses. Well, and then where are all these buses when I'm walking back and forth from the auto shop? Where were all these buses? How do you ride the bus? 3 contingency fleet, 21 5-passenger paratransit vans, 8 to 14. How come everybody doesn't have access to these buses? Everybody should, like, that's what the city agency should be. I have an idea to make an app that anybody, any place in the United States can go anywhere where they are and pick up garbage for $15 an hour. Just pick up garbage. Just start with that. Just start with that. And then when people start making some money and feeling good about themselves and, starting to be able to, have a place in the world, then you allow them to go up in, the ranks of their local government. If they have the aptitude, then go, they want to be an excavator, then go hang out with the excavators. You want to be a farmer? Go hang out with the farmer. You want to be part of the crew that just goes through and clears out all the waterways and keeps all the debris clear and it keeps all the needles and junk out of the waterways to keep our water clean. And then if you find any animals, then you get them to the rescue. And if you want to be part of the rescue, then go be part of the rescue. Instead of freaking, dude, I'm so tired of freaking, the world and over there and this, that. Dude, if people just built their own community, when I lived on Offutt Air Force Base, it had its own supermarket. It had its own department stores, like commissary, where you could get clothes, TV, whatever. It had its own pharmacy. It had its own hospital. It had a place that you could go to work on your car for free and use the tools at the facilities just because you live there. And I always thought, why is it just allowed on military bases? How come the whole country doesn't have this access? Because we're doing bullshit over there in Israel and millions and all this and NASA and budgets and blah and make them believe, and it's just all so crazy. But the world is changing. I have been a lot of stuff that I have spoken on in the last 9 years has come into fruition. I'll say things like when I moved here, I said, dude, animal population is a terrible problem in Taos. Why is there not a free spay and neuter clinic in Taos? And then 2 years later, yeah, but the community, they're the art scene. They're selling oils. They're the fake new age shit. Every place I go, I'm the same person and I get the same reception. And I will burst their little bubbles, and they don't want their bubbles bursted. So I just leave them to their false reality that, let's go ski Taos Ski Valley. Oh, where Epstein hung out? How many times? Countless. And then the newspaper posts pictures because they're trying to gain clout on, look, here's Jeffrey Epstein at Taos Ski Valley because everybody likes to ski Taos. It's just gross. I don't care. There's a lot of dark stuff here. They talk about the giants in Cuesta. They talk about the giants. That's where mom's from. Maybe she got giant DNA, and she was the last and she was the youngest out of like 19 kids. And the mom, I'm sure like the dad knocked her up and like she probably had no idea she could still get I don't know what their thought. You don't throw babies away. You make an environment where if the baby doesn't stay with the mom, it still gets to stay in the same little monkey house. Like Punch. Dude. Why don't people, I mean, so many people watch the animals, but why don't they see that human beings are just like animals? Every year they talk about Christmas and how the single mom, has a baby, an orphan, an orphan to dad. Even God was an absentee father. he just knocked her up and dipped like my dad did. And I grew up like there were Christmases that we wouldn't have had. Like it's just like sorry, we don't have a Christmas. I'm sorry. And then my brother having to me pout. Oh, it's okay, moms. Don't feel bad. We're together. Blah blah blah. We could watch the movies on TV and stuff like that. You know, and mom just like hating herself because her position in life and all this stuff, and just all for no reason, just all. But we wouldn't have had nothing. But like one year, we were the family that got drawn at Denny's. Like when you go to the cash register and pay, and they say if you want to help a needy family in the community, put donate here. We were the family one year, and we got games and stuff like that. You know, and so like that to me was like the magic of Christmas. It was never a dude in a red suit that came down a chimney. We never had fireplaces. I wasn't gonna buy that shit. Santa didn't deliver gifts up the exhaust on Greyhound buses. I know how that's not how it works. And so I can always tell when they're tricking me. Oh, they're trying to trick me. They're trying to get me to believe something that's different than the reality in which I'm experiencing, and therefore I'm not going to participate. That's why I only did 6 years, dude. I knew what the military was about in 2001, and I still did all the shit I had to do to honor my commitment to get that damn degree to take care of mom. And my degree, I posted my resume on TikTok. I posted it on Twitter. I'm like this is where I've come from. Like I've given it to people that were in corporate, and I'm like, is this would you hire somebody? I gave it to Meta. I fed it to Meta, and I was like, what do you think about this person that this resume belongs to? And it's like, you're complete like I'm a weirdo because there's so few people in this country that are as qualified to do as many things as I do, from like having top secret clearances and going to fucking war, to working at Creighton University and seeing what the dirty Jesuits about, and then watching I got to meet the Tibetan. I got to meet the monks at Creighton. I got to do a lot of cool shit. I worked at West Corp. I saw like how the production is put in place, how the players are put in line to support the production. Like when I worked at West Corp, they were the company. Whatever you called a vote back in the 2000, you called the pick your favorite, like an American Idol and all that stuff. You call a line group. ESPN. Get that package, call the line group. That was all West. They had like 8 different buildings in Omaha from all these different contracts that just dealt, instead of the company hiring within their company. America's been outsourcing itself since 1776. And people are capable to do these tasks here and to make these things here, a lot of people are just being stonewalled. And these are the things that are changing, thankfully. Because there's too many people in control. Like they're not ever cognizant. They're always on pills, coke, booze. They aren't trustworthy people. And the curtain's coming down. And I'm pretty excited for that. And now this is officially the longest I've ever talked. That's all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out.